Hello everyone, welcome to fall of 2020. The good news is you've survived thus far and gotten through the application process, so now you're trying to sort of figure out what's happening, what's going to be happening for this semester, and what exactly to expect. So here's a couple things that I wanted to go over with you guys, just as a general rule, and I'll post something to this effect in the announcements, and you'll see it a lot of different places. You've gotten emails and all sorts of things. So there are a few different aspects of how teaching and learning is going to be happening, and there's a couple things that I want to set the record straight on first. One of the first things to understand is this semester, more than any other, I'm actually really excited to see what we're going to be doing as far as your learning process, because there's a bit of a different shift. So you may have been used to in high school where everyone is trying to teach you to the test, because that's what education is all about. Fundamentally, that is not what is happening here in college. This is a completely different thing. It is my job to turn you guys into engineers. And what that means is it's my job to teach you how to think. People aren't going to hire you as an engineer to solve something that they can search Google for, right? Have you guys thought about that before? Nobody's hiring you to tell them something that they can easily answer. What they are going to hire you for is they're going to hire you to solve problems that people don't even know are problems yet. There are no solutions and there are no answers on Google where you guys are headed. So you need somebody that understands that and understands how to teach you how to think to get you there, so that when you go apply to companies, you stand head and shoulders above everybody else that's applying, because you can tell them, I can critically think. I know how to answer questions, and I know how to learn the information that I'm missing when I don't have the knowledge already, which is going to be all the time. I am constantly learning in my job, and that's a normal thing for all of engineering. So there will always be professional development. There will always be things to learn. So understanding that, this semester, more than any other in your entire life, you are going to feel and experience the burden of having to own your educational experience, and that is something that may be very different from what you have been used to up till now. So I'm trying to brace you guys early on and set this expectation crystal clear. I am here to guide you, to point you to resources, to help you to understand and master how to learn and absorb and bring into practice new information. It's not my job to teach you all the information that you need to know to pass the test. So you guys need to get that out of your head completely, because I am turning you into engineers, not whatever else you want to compare this to. We're not in a society anymore where you can just do that as an engineer, where you can look stuff up. I mean, maybe some disciplines like civil engineering can get away with looking stuff up in a book more often than not, but that's not what we're here to teach you. What we are here to teach you is how to do new and cool and interesting things. So what does that involve? At least for this semester, one of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be able to take an idea and a concept and learn how to research that further, how to research more information. This is something that you guys do all the time. If you want to learn how to do something, you go to what? YouTube, right here where you are right now. You go look for stuff. You probably don't look on TikTok, because that's just people doing weird dances to music for 15 seconds or doing bizarre editing tricks. So stop wasting your time on TikTok and start actually doing something here with some of the information that you have available. You have so many resources available to you, you don't even know yet the full power of the information that you can access and master to get way ahead of all those people who are wasting their life on Facebook and TikTok and whatever other social platforms come up between now and whenever you see this video. The point is, you are going to have to understand that it's okay for you to have to go out on your own and look up new information and absorb it and bring it into what you're working on. That's an okay thing, and that's how you're going to work in the real world as an engineer. So I'm not going to teach you one thing and then tell you, yeah, but actually the real world is this other way. I'm going to teach you how to deal with the real world and skip that middle annoying step. Does that sound fair to everyone? See, I'd much rather prepare you to be a real engineer than to be underprepared or a graduate from another institution. So, that having been said, here are some of the things that we need to understand about the class time. The first part of the class is going to be run as remote. Some of that may continue to change, as it's changed so many times now I can't even count. The reality is, for the moment of recording this, the plan is still to have everything remote at least for the first 3 weeks and cut out a bunch of the holiday time so that we just start later and run the first 3 weeks online. What that means is you guys will need to be logging in. I will be live streaming here to YouTube as well as running through Zoom. So Zoom will be, you will get access information to all of that in your class, in the announcements. There'll be a lot of detailed instructions and things there. So for no matter what class you're taking, there will be some sort of a live stream on YouTube, and I will also be conducting the class in Zoom. That will allow me to have a lot more flexibility as far as what I'm doing, what kind of demonstrations, simulations, levels of screen sharing, and still be able to actually see all of you as my students. So some of the Zoom etiquette that I want you guys to understand is you guys need to be logged in. You need to be on time. In Arizona, we don't have a change in time zones or anything like that, so it's important to be keeping that in mind. So what we're going to be doing for the majority of at least this online time is Zoom sessions, and that means that I need you guys to have cameras on, and you'll need mics muted until you actually are able to answer a question or you're participating, something like that. So if you guys all have cameras off and mics muted, then my assumption is you're asleep and you're not actually learning anything, or you're off over here browsing and looking at cool stuff on eBay, and then I give a really important point and then I ask a question, you're like, what? So that's part of the problem that we have to overcome, and that's something that you guys are going to have to consciously work on, is Zoom etiquette. So that means that I need you guys to be logged in, have cameras on. I'm going to be asking questions. I'm going to be engaging you guys, but I need you guys to do me the courtesy, since I'm also on camera and doing all these things, I need you to do me the courtesy of using camera. Another thing that people forget about is headphones and microphones. Most everybody has some kind of headphone microphone. If you're a big time gamer and you have a gamer headset that you want to use, fantastic. The more of you that are using headphones and microphones with them in some combination, even if you're just using headphones for the audio, you're using your headphones from your phone or whatever it is, your wireless earbuds, wireless Bluetooth headphones, doesn't matter. Whatever you're using that is headphone like, that separates the audio so that it's not just coming out of your computer echoing back into the computer, causing this endless stream of echoes over and over and over, that disrupts the class for everybody, not just one or two people. So I prefer you guys using headphones, and if you've got one, a microphone so that I can hear you. A lot of you will be able to use Zoom on your phone, and so you can use wireless earbuds or whatever that you guys are probably already using in order to join into the classes. So that'll maybe make your online experience a little bit better. It'll certainly make your classmates' experience better, so we don't just have 13 people having feedback on their channel all the time. That'll allow us to actually focus on the precious class time that we have, because of all of the other distractions and delays. We really have to try to maximize the time available here. So I understand this is like a forever long video for you guys, but stick with me. There are a couple other important points here. There should be a lot of communication about your from your SSCs, specifically about what days you are supposed to be in class and what days you're supposed to be in the remote sessions as we move into blended learning, assuming we don't go completely online for the semester. Again, all of that stuff's up in the air, and I'm going to have to make sure you guys have what you need to adapt for whatever different scenarios come up. So we are going to be trying to maintain social distance as much as possible for the in-class sessions. We're going to have a little different desk arrangements where you guys will be kind of separated from the instructors, and that's just there are some things like this that are going to be the way that they are for the semester. They are going to require you to wear masks in class. The only exceptions are going to be certain exceptions granted by our Student Disability Services group, so you'll need to get in touch with them if you have to have an exemption. Those are all things that we can't really discuss in class, but we do have to have you in masks if you are able to be in masks for the in-class session. Again, that's not something that I have options for. The violations of that regarding the masks turn immediately into code of conduct filing. There's no exceptions and all these things. These are policies that I'm held to and I cannot change. So my opinion on them really doesn't matter at this point. So there are a whole bunch of other things that are going to be required. You'll get some additional information as time gets closer to the start of class, but I wanted to at least have this up as an initial kind of set of expectations as far as what you guys are going to be doing for the online portions. Again, expecting you guys to be present in Zoom with everything turned on, your camera and whatever else. That will make life a whole lot easier to actually interact with you guys. You also will need to you'll also need to be keeping an eye on those announcements very frequently, because that will give you a pretty good idea what's coming up in terms of assignments. A lot of my classes that I'm teaching are going to be very heavily project-based learning. Not like flipped classroom stuff, but it's going to be actual project-based learning. So you guys are going to be working on projects and you're going to be learning new things, and that's okay. So one of the other things that you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be getting stuck frequently, and I want you guys to not think of it as I'm trying to get you frustrated. I'm trying to get you stuck enough that you are going out and looking up new information. Okay, how do I apply this? Okay, how do I get over this hurdle? Okay, how do I do this? Because that is part of the natural engineering process that we have to use in real life. That's the reason behind it. I'm not trying to frustrate you with busy work, because I don't have time to waste anybody's time. I'm going to be teaching a lot of classes this summer, and I'm going to have reduced office hours, or this semester rather. I'm going to have reduced office hours as a result of that. So I need to make sure that you guys are able to look up and learn new information. And you can come and ask questions. You can post questions to each other and reach out to each other and do your own Zoom sessions for limited time on the free accounts and all this other stuff to work together to figure out and problem solve, just like we do in real life. So again, all of this comes back around to trying to prepare you guys to actually be engineers, not focused on trying to get you into some mold of this is what we want out of a college student. We don't have time for that. This is a really bizarre situation, and we are trying to make the best of it for your sakes. And that means teaching you guys how to critically think and analyze given information, especially given information that's not complete or is missing, as will often be the case in real life. So we're going to be a little easier in some of the freshman courses about that, a little harder in some of the upper division classes. So if you feel like you don't quite have enough information, that's probably on purpose. We want to make sure that you guys are filling in the blanks and learning new things. So a lot of other expectations and things will come down in specifics. For the in-class sessions, it's going to be split up in a blended mode for, I think, all of my classes, where you're going to be attending, half the students or so are going to be attending the first day of class, half will attend the second day. So again, a lot of details should have gone out from your SSCs about that. Anything else, anything that changes should also come down from your SSCs in the university. But that will allow the students that are not present in class are going to be working on these projects, because these assignments and these things that we're giving you, they're not busy work. They're things that you're actually going to have to, like I've been saying, go and learn new things, master new information, add new stuff into the list that you weren't necessarily using beforehand. So there's a lot of moving pieces to all of this, and there's going to be a lot of burden on you guys in order to take the initiative on taking control of your educational experience, because at the end of the day, it is your job to make sure that you're getting as much as you can out of that class experience. It's not necessarily the instructor's job just to get you ready for the test. That's not how real life works at all. So make sure that you ask any questions. I'm sure there will be a bunch, but I tried to at least address a bunch of the initial concerns, questions, considerations, expectations, and all that stuff here in this video. So I understand it was long. Hopefully you made it to the end. If you did, get yourself a cookie. Congratulations. And I'll see you in the next one, probably in some of the live streams just below.